grab your wine. It's time for Rosé All Day and Julie's a Mess, where we talk about current events and living in an intersex life. And now, here's Julie.
That's mine, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rosé All Day. It has been quite a dry spell since I've done a Rosé All Day, but this is an important one. We are going to be talking about all things Aspen Dental. A lot of people on my YouTube page don't even know the whole story. I know some of you do not read the blog, although you can read the whole story on the justjulia.com blog. And I did put a TikTok out today because we were talking about that I was going to share a lot of the comments that have been made on the original talk that was made in February. So we're going to talk about all of that. Just a quick update. Well, let's actually get into it, and then we'll talk about the update, right? But here it is. So for those of you that don't know, first off, Rosé All Day, going back to our original format, it is a wine day. I literally just got back from work. I'm having to work now just to be able to probably pay for replacement dentures since Aspen has not fixed what they said they would fix. That's interesting. We're going to talk about all that too. You would think it was just a me thing, but when you read some of the comments that were left on that initial talk, and we're talking about close to 9,000 comments, the talk went viral. It's been viewed over 2 million times, and it went pretty much viral overnight. But anyway, I'm going to pop into chat in case anybody is chatting with us tonight too. Feel free to chat. Feel free to share your disdain with Aspen Dental. We're going to be talking about that more as well. But let's just go back. I need a drink. Mama needs a drink. And tonight's rosé is Chalkboard Rosé from 2019. And I am going to get a glass because it's not ladylike to drink out of the bottle. Although the horrors that I faced just from the Aspen ordeal, maybe I should brown bag it and just drink right out of the bottle. Let's grab a glass, though. My good friend of mine, Blair Fanning, has always said that you should just drink out of a glass. It's just classier. And, you know, I'm classy. There's something in this glass. Is that plastic? Yes, it's plastic. Well, that's bougie. Okay. It's still in there. Sorry, chalkboard. Now that I've violated your wine with my dirty fingers from work. Ooh, that is a good rosé. That's a good rosé. Okay. So here's the deal for people that don't know. In my 30s, I ended up losing all of my teeth due to bacteria in my jawline and jawbone. Pardon me for a second because that wine is starting to hit sore spots in my mouth, and so the acid from that wine may not be good. Maybe I won't drink any more of it. Maybe I just needed a shot. So in my 30s, I ended up getting dentured due to bacteria in my jawline and the fact that all of my adult teeth were decaying. And that was all attributed from what I had been told to being XXY and intersex. And long story short, I was told you can be in the chair for the next 9 months, getting every tooth in your mouth fixed and worked on, not knowing if you would ever have to have more done moving forward, or you could have your teeth removed and you could get dentures. And I was with a great practice in California, Garden Grove, and the doctor was like, "Do you trust me? This is over 4 or 5 weeks of having dental work done and the teeth being removed." And I said, "Yes, I trust you." And he goes, "The bacteria is in your jawline." Now, originally they were going to put implants in my mouth. And then they said, "Your jaw is not going to support implants ever. The osteoporosis in your body from being all of that is too much. You're going to be in dentures the rest of your life." Now, I was 35 and I thought, dentures? But they made me a brilliant set of dentures. It looked like I had had work done, but people loved my smile. I mean, that smile was amazing. And I kept them going for 13 years. They had a great color. They never lost their color. They never faded. They were brilliant. They fit my mouth. When I needed to get them relined, I would get them relined. They would still fit my mouth. Now, here's the great thing that a lot of people don't understand. When you have dentures made, they take measurements of your face and your mouth, and they are supposed to just fit in your mouth. You are not supposed to have to use glue or goop or any of that other stuff unless you're going to be eating a heavy meal and you want to make sure that the fit is a little more secure, or until the dentures start to wear in time. And then obviously you have to have stuff to hold them. But when you first get your dentures, they should just go right into your mouth and you shouldn't have an issue. And these teeth were great for me. And 13 years later, still working for me, I'm not in the financial position I used to be in. And so I started looking into area dentists here in the state and city that I live in to find somewhere that could reline them for me. And so I decided to go to Aspen Dental here in Savannah, Georgia. And I called them and they offered a payment plan, which I thought was a little crazy that a reline was going to cost that much that you would have to go on a payment plan, because most relines are about $200 and they do them chair side. But I needed to get it done. And so I took my dentures in, and the day I walked in to get the procedure done, I went and sat in a chair in the back of the office, and I remember the technician in the office, his name was Kevin, he was sharing with one of the other coworkers that he did not love working in the Savannah office because you either had really rich patients or really poor patients, but they like to complain. And he loved to work in the Rincon office, Rincon, Georgia, because people were just happy to have a product that they could put in their mouth. And I thought, that's shady as fuck to say that, but I was already there and I needed it done, and I just thought maybe he's having a bad day. So they came in and they did the measures and they did the gloop, and I'm choking on all the stuff, right? And then they were like, "Come back and we will." Now, before I even left that morning, Kevin wasn't sure what to do. Everybody was looking at my dentures. It finally took the dentist at that office coming in and saying, "Look, she is getting a reline. That's what we're doing. She's getting a reline. We're not doing a rebase. We're not doing any of that. She paid for a reline. She's getting a reline. Give her a reline." And so I left, and I was supposed to come back that afternoon to pick up. Hi, Brooklyn, miss. And so, Maribel, so I went back that afternoon, and I walked into the office, and I said, "Hi, I'm here to pick up my dentures." And the receptionist, super sweet, her name was Cheyenne, she handed me a Ziploc bag with my dentures in them, filled with scope. And she was like, "Here they are. Go try them on in the lobby bathroom. And if they fit, you're all good and you can go. And I thought, I'm trying them on in the lobby bathroom? So I go in the lobby bathroom. I put them in my mouth. I noticed right away that they felt different and they looked different. And then I went to open my mouth, and the top part, which had always fit my mouth before, fell out. And the bottom part was all loosey-goosey in my mouth. And I thought, it's not even the same fit I had before, which was better than the fit they are now. So I came out and I said, this is not going to work for me. This isn't correct. And the more I looked at the denture, it looked like they had been reshaped. Like they literally went from being an end-to-end bite to looking like the front of a train going down a steam track. They had been totally reshaped. The gum color was different. It was a darker color, which let me know that it had probably have been heated up. And so she was like, well, let's go in the back. And so we go in the back, and she walks in, and she tells Kevin she is not happy with the shape. It's given her an overbite. She's not happy. To which Kevin says, audibly enough for me to hear it, not only in the chair, but the office in Savannah is open air, and they were full of people. He audibly says, well, it's probably not happy because it makes its jawline look a little more masculine, which is how it would have looked before it transitioned. And then he went on to talk about how a tranny hit on him once, and he had no idea. He was like, you would never know, ever, that trans woman had a thing between her legs. I mean, I was horrified. One, that conversation was even going on. Two, that he was talking about me in the lab and that the whole office could hear it. Cheyenne comes back in with some adjustments, and I said, I'm not trans. And that is a conversation that should not be happening in any office, much less a medical one. So I tried the dentures in. They still didn't fit. She goes back into the lab. Now their conversation drops because I'm sure she told him what I just said. So now you can't hear what they're saying. But then when she comes back in to put the teeth in my mouth, he comes in with her. And then I had to take that moment to explain to them what intersex means and how it is not the same thing as trans. I basically had to share a part of my life that I was not willing to share on any level at the dentist that day. I'm sure I share about it in education and in advocating, but in that moment, I already felt really vulnerable, and I shouldn't have had to have explained to them what intersex was, so I wouldn't leave that office with anything happening in the parking lot, right? In the era we're in where trans women are killed and murdered all the time, you just put me in a very precarious situation leaving this office because everybody heard it. And I'm not trans. Kevin at that point tried to reassure me that overbites are natural and that I should be okay with a little bit of an overbite, to which I said, overbites are not natural. Parents wouldn't spend thousands of dollars to put their kids in braces if overbites were natural. The conversation keeps going on, and he said, I see that you put on your application for services that you're an actress. What kind of actress are you? Now, when I get super nervous, I resort to comedy. Looking at Cheyenne, I was like, porn. I'm in porn, right? To which Kevin says, oh, I watch trans porn with my dog. Really? That's where you think this conversation's going? He gets up and leaves. Cheyenne turns to me and says, he likes to talk a lot. It was closer to 4. I left the office. I went out to my truck and I cried. Because the dentures that I'd had for the last 13 years, which was traumatic enough to get done, you had now destroyed. And I was misgendered in a small southern town in the office full of people. I went home, and that was on a Thursday night, and I made a TikTok. And this is the TikTok. Hi. This message is going out to Aspen Dental. I live in Savannah, Georgia, and I have dentures. And I took my dentures into your Savannah office to have them relined with a soft liner because they were not fitting anymore. And I went in today to have that done after putting my down payment down and agreeing to make monthly payments through your program. Imagine walking back in to get the smile back that you once had that was often commented on as being beautiful and natural, to find that your denture has been reshaped and now looks like the front of a train car. And when you put it in your mouth, it doesn't suction like they should. And it now creates an unnatural smile and an overbite. While they've started to do adjustments this afternoon in your Savannah office, the technician that fucked my dentures up, Kevin, can be heard in the back room directly behind the room that I am being evaluated in, as probably being upset because it will make me look a little more masculine, which is probably natural to my natural jawline, and that he has had trans women hit on him before. 1, I'm not trans. 2, I was never hitting on him. 3, you fucked my dentures up. So who do you think's going to be paying for a new set of dentures when I contact my lawyer? You should be professional. But now I have an unnatural bite and my jawline looks, he's correct, more masculine. I never had this issue before, but you have destroyed my dentures, which initially cost me, with all the facial reconstruction I had to do the first time around, close to $36,000. Feel free to reach out to me and rectify the situation. Until then, don't go to Aspen Dental. They're unprofessional, and they will fuck your existing dentures up. Not happy. Do something about it. So that video went up on a Thursday night on my TikTok, and by Friday, 24 hours later, their legal department had reached out to my lawyer in Orlando. And she called and said they would like to meet with you Saturday morning in Savannah. Let's hear what they have to say. I mean, it had already had like 3,000 comments on it, and had been viewed at that point like 40,000 times, and had like 60,000 likes. So I met with somebody from their team Saturday morning in Savannah for coffee. And he kept saying, this is not who we are. This is not who Aspen is. Please let us fix it. Please let us fix it. We'd like to send you to a different office here locally. Please let us fix it. Now, mind you, the office they were sending me to is a good 40 minutes from where I live. So I started to drive out to that office multiple times. But I went out and I said, okay, you want to fix it? Let's fix it. Going into that, my lawyer had sent them what the fix needed to be for me. And part of the fix that they had agreed to was that they would make me 2 brand new sets of dentures, because one set of dentures through Aspen would not even come close to half of what I initially paid for the set they ruined. So 2 brand new sets in the color that I wanted, comparable to the original set that I had made 13 years ago. I was filming a movie a week from that date. I was petrified that I would not get to film a movie because I wouldn't have teeth. Now it's impacting my revenue. So I went in to Aspen, and they made me a trial bite, and then they made me dentures. They also made a second set, but they came to me after the fact and said, by the way, the second set is not going to be made of the same quality that the first set's made out of, because one set's coming from Canada and one set's coming from America. Well, that's not the same. And we colored one to be the color that you want. We had to special order it because, nobody has that bleach color. And I thought, people all over the country are getting this bleach color. It's not like I asked for some special color. I just said I wanted it to be bright and white. The white that I asked for was bright and white when I got them. They're not anymore. They're already faded, right? They're white, but they're not the white they were. Now, the big deal is they don't fit. These do not fit in my mouth without copious amounts of glue. In fact, today I had to wear them to work, and I had to reapply the glue that to the dentist that was helping me. She was like, oh, well, it might be what you're using. Try these and try those. And I'm like, no. I shouldn't be having to put glue in them at all. They should fit my mouth. They should fit. I shouldn't be talking to somebody at dinner or on a date and they fall out of my fucking mouth. They should fit. And that second pair they gave me, they said, oh, you can use that as a backup pair. You can just leave it in your sock drawer. That wasn't a part of the original agreement. But here's the shitty part. These dentures that they made me, because they don't fit correctly. A week ago, my mouth started to peel. Literally on TikTok Live, peeling sheets of my mouth out of my gum line. And now my gum line is in constant pain with sores and new bumps. And of course, people will say, oh, well, you need to go have them adjusted. I'd already been like 6 times to have them adjusted since they were being made. And now Aspen doesn't want to work with me because of my social media push. So they've kind of washed their hands of it. But here's the thing. You put me in harm's way in the office when you misgendered me in front of half of Savannah. But now being intersex, I can't allow infection to set in. And I have to wear the teeth because you have to have something in your mouth. But the sores and the issues that's causing my gum now, if that gets infected, I could die. And you, as a corporate company, don't understand the ramifications of what you've done to me. And now if I go and have teeth made anywhere else, I'm probably going to have more extensive work done just to prepare my jaw for the new teeth. Because your fix and you not being like that, right? This is not who we are. Didn't work. here's what's even odd, or is that a word? Odder? This is not who we are. There are over 9,000 comments now on that original TikTok between both of my accounts because I posted it at different times. Of people throughout the country who are in similar situations or worse that your company has caused. So for you to sit there and be like, let us fix this, this is not who we are, I think it's exactly who you are. In fact, there are plenty of groups on Facebook like Aspen Dental the Rat Trap, or Stop Aspen Dental, or Aspen Dental Horror Stories. I think it's exactly who you are. And I think that's inherently sad. And now we're going to read some of those comments, because guess what? Some of the people that may be watching on YouTube aren't on TikTok, even though that's pretty hard to imagine with 150 million people on TikTok. But not everybody's following me. And I'm sure the 9,000 comments that were left on this video, even though it's gone viral and it's been shared on multi-platforms, I'm sure people have even more complaints about your company. Now, here's what's funny. I said tonight on my TikTok that I was going to be going live on Rose All Day tonight, and that we were going to be talking about some of these complaints. And some lady was like, don't do that. It's not their fault. I'm like, it's not their fault. It's 100% their fault. It's 100% their fault. I'm also tired of people within that organization trying to downplay what happened to me in that office. Not only did you fuck my original dentures up and my smile up, and now I'm having complicated issues from your fix, nobody has acknowledged what I went through. The fear of walking out of that office and knowing I live in a small southern town where people are not on board with the LGBTQIA plus community, where it would be very easy for me to be shot because somebody doesn't understand the trans community. And look, we're currently going through a cataclysmic shift where people are fucking throwing out their Budweiser because Dylan Mulvaney ended up on the can. So you can't sit there and say, oh, you'd be fine. You misgendered me in your medical office. You broke a ton of HIPAA laws and probably other laws, and you still have not apologized for it. All you've said to me is, well, that's not who we are. So let's read who you are. Let's share some of these comments and see who you are. Meanwhile, I'm eating pudding and ice cream at night because I can't fucking eat. The first comment that shows up on my screen for that TikTok says, I felt this talk to my core. Otter 18. That's not her full TikTok name. I felt this to my core. All of my top teeth were taken out by them. I've yet to get dentures by them made. I've been waiting and am now $7,000 in debt. I live in Savannah, and when I got my new dentures, I started to use Aspen. I recommend another dental office in Savannah. They are wonderful. Aspen is not. right? People offered advice. Your upper denture wasn't seated fully at the time of impressions. They matched it to the lower, causing that to move positionally. A guess from dental people. You know what my friend noticed? That the new set makes me whistle. He was like, Julie, you whistle when you talk. Why the hell did they take it upon themselves to do something you didn't ask for? Good grief, they shouldn't be talking about whatever gender they think their patients are. I can easily see the issue with your bite. I hope they make it right. Nope. These teeth give me an overbite too. The Guardian said, I am so sick, in all capital letters, of Aspen. Still on attempt 4 for finals with them. At this point, just give me my money back. Aspen Dental is one of the very worst places to go. They are horrible. Aspen Dental is a joke, says one comment. I spent $3,000 for some fillings and had to have another dentist redo all the work. This is actually a common complaint. So I paid for the work twice. They told my friend her mouth wasn't big enough for a set of dentures. She said it was big enough for a set of teeth when she had them. That made me laugh. Somebody said, never heard anything good about Aspen Dental. Sorry this happened to you. I hope they pay for a new set to be made. Well, they gave me a new set. A new shitty set. Here you go, little girl. One lady wrote, as someone who's been in the dental field for a long time, do not go to an Aspen Dental clinic. They are the McDonald's of dentists. But sometimes that's all people can afford. And they would like to go get some work done and not be taken to the bank and then given a shitty product. I am so sorry. I'd contact an attorney, especially for what they said about you in the back room. They were tagged numerous times. In fact, in one video, they were tagged and they said, we can't talk about patients because of HIPAA. And I thought it. And the person responded and said, well, you didn't think about that before you spread her business all through your office. One individual said, I had to go in for an emergency extraction and they removed not only the wrong tooth, but they took out an extra one. Aspen Dental is a joke. Then somebody said, what the hell? They removed the wrong tooth? Aspen Dental broke several of my teeth up and having to have major work done because of them. They are the worst. Many dental hygienists have come in and said they are constantly repairing the work that other people have had done at Aspen Dental. A soft reline should have been done chair side. Here's an interesting one. Aspen Dental held me down and pulled my teeth without a numbing agent and caused extensive dental trauma to my mouth. Now my teeth are falling out due to lack of dental. People are talking about that. Somebody said the same thing happened to me about a year ago. She said, "You feel that?" I said, "Yes." And she continued, "I was shaking and crying, and she was so cold, chairside." Our Aspen Dental in Grand Rapids is just as bad. I had the same experience in an Ohio office. I cried and screamed in the office, and they continued, even though the dental assistant told the dentist that they needed to stop. One said they messed up my mom's dentures about 12 years ago. Her bottoms were so bad after they fixed them, she wasn't able to ever wear the bottoms again. Somebody said they did this to me too. Somebody said, "I've experienced this before. I hope Kevin has to pay and you can get some upgrades if that's even a thing. I'm not sure." But let's be quite honest. I don't want any upgrades from Aspen Dental. They tried to fix it. They didn't fix it. You think my ass is going back to them now? No. But I am going to have to go have brand new dentures made somewhere that will work for me. Aspen Dental is awful. They made dentures for me, and every single front tooth would come out and have to be replaced at least 2 times each. My husband went there, and his looked like nothing close to the ones that he took in to be replaced. The one in Alcoa, Tennessee is no better. When I picked out an affordable set and didn't like how they fit, I was told, what did I expect for what I paid? My mom has had similar issues, not a surprise. Even here in Alabama, they have a horrible reputation. Hope you get things sorted out. They did it to my mom too. They quoted me for a price I paid. They said it would have covered everything, and then I went to pick them up and they said it would be an additional $1,100. I've had my issues with them. That's why I don't go anymore. They're the worst. They did a crown prep for me on the wrong tooth, and the permanent crown they did broke off and took most of my tooth with it. I had a tooth hurting, went in, had x-rays, etc. They said I needed to open a credit account. I couldn't afford that. They didn't fix my mouth. My mother and father-in-law went there, and now he cannot wear his, and she has had hers replaced multiple times. Oh, here's a great one. This one comes from Twins in California. Aspen Dental left a broken off medical instrument during a root canal procedure and to get a new root canal done this year because of it. The piece was found inside. Now, mind you, these are comments that are left on this TikTok. One person said, I went to Aspen Dental in my local hometown to get my wisdom teeth removed, and they told me they would send my scripts to the pharmacy. They didn't. I sat crying in the parking lot, heaving, blood, and spit pouring out of my mouth because I was in so much pain. Followed all of their directions perfectly. It got such a severe infection, it swelled my whole face up, bruises, and I was miserable. One said, I got a root canal and my whole tooth broke off. Now I have a crown and hella debt. Now, this is interesting. Somebody said, what's more concerning is most of their employees are everyday people like you and I. How can they fucking treat people like they do? There was one comment on here about a manager that said she was a manager at an Aspen Dental, and she was like, all they want is your money. She was like, they hire the worst people. She was a store manager for years or a location manager for years. And I thought, Joe McKinley said, I had my top plate done there and I was so traumatized that I'm afraid to go get my bottoms done in general. We'll never go back. One woman said, thank you for this video. We will be canceling all 5 appointments we had there next month. Someone else said, Aspen Dental is a crock. I hope you get something you're happy with. See, a private practice dentist would never send anyone to an Aspen Dental. Another said they pulled all 4 of my sister's wisdom teeth and sent her home without any meds. They did the same thing to my mother in Oregon. One time I went to an Aspen Dental for a wisdom tooth that was hurting. Dentist didn't look in my mouth, just said, get it removed. Aspen Dental is terrible, somebody else said. Half of my fillings fell out, and then my crown split in half within 2 weeks. I was told there was nothing they can do. Actually, the last time I went in to have these adjusted, I was told at some point you should probably realize it's your jawline. So now you're blaming me. Now you're blaming me, right? Other people on this thread have said that they often are blamed. Oh, that's your fault. I'm in Oregon and used to go to Aspen Dental because they wouldn't pull 2 bad teeth. That is, the rest are now going because I had bad teeth for 3 years. Okay, here's a good one. As someone who has worked with dentists in dental office and patients for over 10 years, Aspen Dental is horrific. Seriously, the absolute worst. There are tons of comments that say don't do chain dentistry. Someone said, glad to know I'm not the only one who messed up going there. My dentures are the same with a overbite I never had before. Lots of recommendations for other dentists in the area. Here's one. Silly Sewami said Aspen Dental is the absolute worst. They pulled the wrong tooth, and now I'm missing 2 teeth and no money to get an implant. I went there once in Oregon. They told me that I needed 19 fillings and it was going to cost $10,000. They are the absolute worst. Aspen Dental charged me $300 for a toothbrush without asking me. They are the reason my mom has dentures from Washington. They cracked all of her top teeth during a root canal visit. They told me I needed microscaling for $900, and I set up appointments, and the first appointment that I was scheduled to be at and pay down half a payment, I showed up a little bit early after leaving work early to make it in, and they had canceled my appointment without telling me. They also rescheduled it for another day without asking me. I canceled all appointments and got a second opinion. I didn't need a scaling. Here's a good one. They really fucked up your teeth, man. You look like Steven Tyler. Is that fit even comfortable? Can't that cause painful rubbing inside your mouth? That could get infected. They should not leave you in that state. Right. And I was sharing with somebody the other day, I have to wear them. I don't have anything else. So I have to wear them. I have to go to work and I have to wear them. I'm in a front facing position. So every night I come home and I go to rinse my mouth out in the shower, and my roommate will tell you it is a stream of red blood in the water. I mean, even as I'm looking for comments and reading and talking about it here on YouTube, I'm licking the inside of my mouth. Still peeling. We showed that on live a couple of nights ago on TikTok. Have taken pictures of the peeling of my gums. My neck hurts because I don't have that support. People don't realize that your teeth affect everything. Not to mention that the stress of not having Aspen help me in the way that they need to help me. I'm losing sleep. I'm on anxiety medicine. My hair is falling out. Super stressed. It's not just your teeth that they're taking from you. And for people that are not wealthy or in a position to even have good dentistry done, they trust Aspen to help them. And Aspen does not help them. Interesting story. Aspen actually started doing TikToks. And they have their dentist dancing around. Somebody tagged me in one of the videos one night. I'm laying in bed and I went to look, and I'd been tagged a bunch of times. And people were coming, my cocktails were coming to my defense and saying, Why don't you help her fix her teeth instead of dancing around an office? Clearly, if you have time to make TikToks and dance around your office, you have time to fix people's egregious complaints that you've caused. And then Aspen started deleting those comments, which you're free to do. It's your TikTok account. But I think that blatantly shows your hand in the mix. Oh, here's a great one. I had Aspen Dental reach out with a job offer for me as a dentist, and I said no in all capital letters. I wish more people knew that Aspen Dental is shady as fuck. A soft reline should never have reset your teeth. It only relines the inside. I know what I was going in to ask for. Somebody messed up pretty bad. Well, here's fun. Clearly, it's not just adults that they hurt. Clearly, they do damage to children as well. Kind of like the Catholic Church. Took my son to Aspen Dental about a year ago. He had a few issues as well as his wisdom teeth needed extraction. I was quoted about $13,000 for the work. They stated, pressuring me to put down money that day. Called our current to this day dentist, and it was all done for $1,500. Let me also add, we have 2 dental insurances. Okay, here's another good one. In Wisconsin, Aspen told me I needed 3 teeth pulled, 5 root canals, and some fillings. I took my x-rays to my new dentist and compared to his recommendations, and he says they use fake scams on me. My teeth are perfectly healthy, and I only have 1 filling since I was 19. They're scam artists. Now look, and there's a ticker at the bottom. Clearly, people are upset with Aspen across the board because I have found 3 Facebook groups. One is called Aspen Dental is a Rat Trap. Another one is called Stop Aspen Dental or Boycott Aspen Dental. And the other one is called Aspen Dental Dental Nightmares. And people are joining and they are sharing all of their nightmares. One woman had said that she went in for a crown. They dropped the crown on the ground of the dental office. She was not able to say anything before they placed it in her mouth. It ended up giving her 3 different strains of cellulitis, and she was in the hospital for 2 more weeks. Oh, here's a fun one. Aspen Dental was the reason I had what they call a hypolorite accident. Look it up. Dentist that did it, he's gone now, but they also got bleach into my soft tissue, so I had to have the root canal done all over again at another dentist. Okay. Aspen Dental in Texas recommended that they take out all my fillings and replace them. No dentist I've ever seen since has thought this was medically necessary. Aspen Dental is a joke. Tried to tell me I had gingivitis. Now this one I see a lot. This comment is rife throughout this TikTok. They will tell you you have gingivitis and a whole bunch of other made-up issues when I had no symptoms, just came in for a cavity. Upon going to another dentist, found out I don't have gingivitis at all. Here's one. Kravitz said, I worked for Aspen Dental, and the stories I could tell all of you. And I only worked for them for 2 months because I found their practice unethical. 2 months, and she has tons of stories. They did a surgery on me and I passed out mid-surgery. They stuffed my incision with gauze, forgot that they had stuffed it, and then sewed it up. Of course, my body rejected it. Aspen Dental is the worst. Don't let them do anything, especially pulling teeth. I'm still traumatized. I went there once and will never go back. Rude staff that didn't care about my dental anxiety at all. All Aspen Dentals are like this. I work in dentistry and we end up fixing a lot of Aspen's poor work. I recently went to an Aspen Dental in Florida and walked out very disturbed. Same here. I mean, we're not even into the thick. I haven't even read like 50 comments yet. And there are over 9,000 of these comments. I've never heard a single positive experience from anybody that has gone to Aspen Dental. Aspen Dental is a shame. I spent $9,000 getting my teeth fixed for them to send me a bill 6 months later for $32,000 that they are now saying my insurance didn't pay. They ran my insurance prior and said it was all good. Smiling is still an embarrassment, and they refuse to fix what they haven't. Aspen Dental is the Walmart of dentistry. Let's not, look, I like going to Walmart. Let's not say that they are the Walmart of dentistry. I mean, that's not nice. I think we can all take what we're going to take from the comments. I wouldn't say they're Walmart. I enjoy Walmart. More, I've never heard anything about Aspen Dentals. Aspen Dental gave a family member of mine nerve damage after having teeth removed. Not the first time I've heard complaints about Aspen Dental. Wow, that is the problem with Aspen Dental. No accountability. I hope you get your smile back. Aspen Dental took $1,000 from me and then told me they could not schedule my root canal for a month. It was an emergency visit. Risk of infection? Question mark. Had an appointment for over $14,000 worth of work. Something rubbed me the wrong way and I canceled all appointments. Now, this is an interesting, because there are plenty of these too. Somebody wrote, I work for a different Aspen in Missouri, and I'm so sorry this has happened to all of you. Not all our offices are like this. I hope they fix them. I realize that the offices are franchised, but your parent company that is over all of you, they bring in close to $60 million a year in revenue. And they're not doing anything about it. They're almost like, well, that's not our fault. That's not our fault. It's a franchise. It's not our fault. It's your fault if you allow it to happen. It's your fault if you don't create programs that show inclusiveness and diversity in your patients. It's your fault if when people complain about what has happened to them, because let's be honest, when people call to file a complaint, it goes to the corporate office. It doesn't go to the individual franchisees. So you're responsible for it. And when you do nothing and you allow this level of care to continue to happen, it is a problem and it is your fault. So I hate to say it like this, but guilty by association. I'm sure there's some Aspen Dentals out there that are fabulous. The one I went to was not so fabulous for me. And the response from the parent company has been just as egregious. I'm not going to say her name, but the head of risk management told my attorney, well, I understand what Julie must be going through. My daughter is gay. I'm like, your daughter's a lesbian? So you understand what I'm going through? One, it's not the same thing. I actually said to her in one of the meetings, I said, that's not the same thing. But let me try and make sure you understand what I'm going through, so you can really sympathize with me. Ma'am, imagine you were with your lesbian daughter downtown where you live. And every day, like Groundhog Day, you have to watch her be ridiculed for being a lesbian, kicked in the stomach, her teeth removed, called horrible names. Basically, you have to watch your daughter constantly being abused. and you can't do one goddamn thing about it. But don't tell me you know for a minute what I've had to go through in my life and in this moment, because you have no idea. That was almost worse than what Kevin put me through. I sympathize with you. Really? You sympathize with me? Ma'am, how would you like to be somewhere and somebody come in and misgender you? Behind your back, but for everybody in your corporation to hear. How would you like that? Don't patronize me by saying you're going to fix the problem and you sympathize with me, and then you don't fix the problem, and the problem or your fix is causing me more problems on the back end. Aspen Dental is a joke. I ended up with a vein infection from them when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. William said, I went to an Aspen Dental, and after listening to what the dentist had to say, I excused myself from the chair and left. It was pretty scary. I went to an Aspen Dental not once, but twice because of the price. They ended up doing fillings on teeth that didn't need them. The first time I said, hey, this tooth is cracked in the middle, and the middle piece coming out. The doctor said, nope, it's fine. So then that said piece came out too. Now I have a gaping hole in that tooth. The second time I went back, and it was so infected with an abscess underneath in severe pain. Aspen Dental has a bad reputation here too in upstate New York. I know you have to feel good when dentures, I know you have to feel good when your dentures are in. I'm not disputing, but you can see the pain in your eyes. I'm so very sorry this has happened to you, but thank you for posting, because I did look into going there for dental work, and now I will not. I went back and looked at some of your previous TikToks to see your original smile. You were correct. They fucked up your dentures. You look like Mr. Ed. My daughter had her dentures done at Aspen Dental here in South Carolina. They had a snaggle tooth. It was awful. Had dentures made 3 separate times. They still do not fit. I went to an Aspen Dental in Oregon. They charged me, Organ seems to have a lot of problems, $13,000 for work they didn't do on my mouth. The one and only filling they did give me fell out a week later. Aspen Dental tried to tell me that I need $7,000 worth of work done in my mouth. I was smart enough to get a second opinion at another dentist, and they said I do not. I was traumatized by a chain dentist as a kid. The Aspen in Hinesville, where I am a military soldier, is always busy, but I wouldn't go there if you paid me. I don't care how good the reviews are. Their preceding reviews across the country have scared me. The Dundalk, Maryland office messed up my father's dentures after several failed attempts to correct them. Dad gave up, forfeited the money, and went elsewhere. Aspen Dental did all my fillings. Not 4 months later, 2 fell out. I called them and they said they would replace for free. Got there and they wanted me to pay for something they said had to be done, and it wouldn't be free because it was less than a year. I went to an Aspen Dental in Detroit to have my cleaning done. They sat me in a room and forgot about me. I was there for 2 hours. I walked out. They never tried to ever reach out to invite me back in. Please don't use any Aspen dentistry. Get referrals for a private owned dentist. Another one that says they charged me for procedures I didn't need, screwed up my financing. Ooh, here's one. Aspen Dental screwed me over too, Julie. They messed up both sets of dentures, refused to fix them, and even though I was still paying for them, they turned it over to collections. I still don't have dentures, and I haven't paid them any more money, and I won't. They are horrible. They suck. Made mine too. Had so many issues with them, I haven't been able to wear them for the last 2 years. Boycott. I think a lot of people are already doing that. Sue these people. Here in North Carolina, we've had so many problems with them. I think I can't speak. I mean, I've heard that people have tried to sue them. Aspen Dental is trash. My fillings were done incorrectly and fell out 3 times. They didn't numb me the last 2 times. Forgot to put me on forgot to put my vest on for my x-rays, exposing me to radiation. Brought my concerns up to management, and they told me the doctor didn't have time to talk to me. They do not care about any of us. I would sue them into oblivion. I would be so furious. 20 years in the dental field, and I beg my family and friends not to ever go to Aspen. They are incredibly predatory, not just to their patients either. A dentist office in Savannah has reached out to help. I'm just seeing it. The one in Norwood, Massachusetts, double booked me. Then when I came in to reschedule the appointment, the door was unlocked and nobody was in the office. Then when I came to my rescheduled appointment, they cut my gum and the root of my mouth during a filling and complained I don't brush enough, and that's why the incident happened. So they're again blaming the patient. She said I brush 2 times a day, so no, that's not why the roof of my gum was bleeding. Oh, somebody said, oh my gosh, I live in Savannah, Georgia, and they fucked my dentures up too. Legit, the same people that fucked up my hard reline. Somebody said, I think all of you in this thread need to get together and sue the fuck out of Aspen Dental. Somebody said they absolutely are pieces of crap. Here's one. I think Kevin did it on purpose. Oh, this one's great. Mommy Mammy wrote, I worked there for almost a year. And yes, in all capital letters, our office screwed up so many dentures for our patients. No one cares about it either. They lie to people about pricing. Aspen Dentals need to be shut down. I live in Savannah too. I will never set foot in another Aspen Dental ever again. I am so traumatized. Aspen Dental is a complete shit show. Chain companies will always hire the worst employees, oftentimes hiring dentists that have not done well in school for the cheapest pay. So the whole fucking company ends up sucking. Aspen Dental messed up my dad's dentures too. He can't even wear them at all because now he has to have oral surgery for them to actually stay in. I might be having oral surgery. I hope that y'all watch this and literally share it everywhere. I'm going to share it on all my platforms. Let's see what Willie Grubbs has said. I mean, hey, Julie, I'm going to the White House on next Tuesday with my school for a field trip. If you would like me to tell Biden about you and your story to see if he can help, I love you, girl. I mean, I don't think President Biden, he might care about Aspen. Maybe you should tell him that story. If you want to tell him about my intersex story, they already have groups in this administration that are supporting the intersex community. If you want to tell him about Aspen Dental, by all means, tell him about Aspen Dental. He probably wouldn't go to them either. Well, I'm not on TikTok tonight because I wanted to bring the Aspen story and everything that's been going on with TikTok to YouTube, which is just another platform that I have over 1,000 people on that aren't necessarily on TikTok. Everybody's been asking me what's been going on with the Aspen situation. So now we are sharing complaints and reading comments off of the TikTok on another platform. Here's a great one. Now, I am just seeing some of these comments for the first time because there are so many comments on the thread. I had initially saved a bunch for other reasons, but I did save one from another transgendered individual that said she came across the same kind of treatment in Texas. That will be important. But this is very interesting. A lot of intersex people are on the spectrum, right? And they have a lot of issues. Some of those issues is autism. Listen to this comment. I took my child that has autism to Aspen Dental. We were told to go see a specialist for those kind of kids. Go see a specialist for a kid that has autism. Not, oh, we'd love to help. We're in the world of dentistry and we're trying to make people's lives better. Instead, they say, go see a doctor for autistic kids. Oh, here's one. Yeah, I'm from Georgia, and I went to the one in Dawsonville, Georgia. I came out crying, and they tried getting me to pay $1,000 for something I didn't even need done. Aspen Dental is the absolute worst. Oh, here's one. This sounds like them. Listen, remember, this is the company that was telling me this is not who we are. This is not who we are. What happened to you is not who we are, Julie. Let's show you who we are. This is not who we are, right? But then you read comments like this. I hate them. I went once, and after that, I finally decided I would not go again. Until my tooth pain was so bad, I finally gained the courage to go back to Aspen because of my teeth hurting. They made me feel so ashamed. My teeth, even bad, weren't even that bad, just some cavities. But the guy here in South Carolina told me that they were absolutely horrible, some of the worst infected, decaying teeth, and that I should be ashamed for letting them get to that point. He then wanted me to pay $4,000 up front and still shame me. That's not who we are. They are horrible. I went one time for a cleaning and they made me think I had oral cancer. I've heard more bad things than good things ever about Aspen Dental. I worked in an oral surgeon's office, so I used to hear a lot about Aspen. Somebody else said they are horrible. They pulled the wrong teeth. How many comments have we read about that? Them pulling the wrong teeth. A perfectly normal tooth instead of the one that was infected. And the entire office just pointed at each other. Like, that's not my fault, that's your fault. Oh, I didn't do that, you did that. Uneducated workers working in the offices, such a joke. Glad I saw this and read all these comments before having major dental work done. I will not be going to an Aspen Dental. Thank you. Absolutely hate Aspen Dental. Went in for an emergency crack in my tooth. The dentist picked on me and laughed at me after finding out I chipped my tooth after eating a piece of hard bacon. Julie, I am sorry. Nobody deserves that kind of treatment. As a lab tech, this breaks my heart. Aspen Dental punctured my root canal and didn't tell me. I had to get a tooth extraction, and the dentist was an asshole. Seems to be par for the course. And here's the thing, because I know this comes up a lot on TikTok too. Initially, when they gave me the set of dentures, I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic because they did look great, right? They look great. And the team that had helped them put me in couldn't have been nicer. You know, I have to be honest. The Pooler office was nice to me. You know, now that I look back on it, it feels kind of like a sham because they have not held up, right? They haven't They haven't held up, and they're causing worse problems now. And I was told that they would not, by their counsel, I was told they would not be helping me now because of my social media push. But you didn't fix it. Now, I had initially put up a talk the day I got them because they were bright and white, and I was ecstatic to have them because I was literally filming a movie a few days later. But then they fell apart on me, and they've caused worse problems for me. And so I took that TikTok down. And that was me trying to be honest in the moment. But your fix didn't work. Your fix didn't work. You lied to me. A lot of people follow me because they say that I have an insane amount of strength, having known my story. But you've attacked my confidence level at my core. My jaw is literally riddled with sores and pain. I've been licking the inside of my jawline all night. I wonder when I go out if I do look like a man, or if I look like more of a man. I'm always looking over my shoulder to see if I read comments like the ones I'm reading right now to you. And again, we've only read like a handful of them, but I read those and my heart breaks for people across the country that your company has destroyed. I am literally having to work a job now just to make sure I can save enough money to go get the teeth that I deserve. I had to medically transition 5 years ago to lead a healthier life. I literally was told if you don't do this, this, and this, you won't make it past 48. I turned 48 in a couple of months. And you know what I've been dealing with this whole year? Mouth issues. Which, because of your egregious fix, could kill me. It is 8:37. We went and started this recording at 7 this evening. I am not going to continue at this point to do it. If you want to read more of the complaints that people have towards Aspen, and rightly so, follow me on TikTok at Miss America 19 Never or justjulie.com on TikTok to read all of the comments. Feel free to share. If you're listening to this or seeing this, or if you're listening to the podcast that will air on Apple, iTunes tomorrow, and on Spotify, if you have issues with Aspen, feel free to come on and tell us about them. Share your story with us. We will share it with the world. At some point, Missy Adamson said at some point, Aspen needs to be held accountable. People don't understand or realize what teeth mean for other people. And teeth literally are the window to every other medical issue you could have. If you don't have a healthy mouth or gums, you're fucked on some level. Plaque can get into your heart from your teeth. I'm having throat issues now from swallowing blood. This is a slippery slope. To all my cocktails that have come in and joined us tonight, thank you. Feel free to share this. It will upload tonight and be a part of justjulie.com. Do not go to Aspen Dental. Even if it's your last option, don't. It's very apparent from the TikTok and how it's gone viral and the people that have commented on that Aspen is not the place to go. They seem to hire incompetent individuals. Again, maybe not every franchise in their corporation is dirty or shady, but a lot of them are. And on some level, the parent company has to take accountability for it, and they don't. Tonight, we have talked about how they have turned away autistic children. They have made fun of gay people that go into their offices. They misgender you. They spread your business around their offices. They're breaking laws left and right. They're doing shoddy work, and they're not taking accountability for it. And it is causing people across the board more issues and worse problems. Lastly, if you are watching this or listening and you do not follow me already on TikTok, one of my TikTokers reached out to me and offered me a brand new set of dentures for $4,500, said I would not have to pay for it. Now, granted, the time he offered them to me, Aspen was trying to fix my issue, and I had every belief that they were going to. So I asked King Mondo if we could give away the set he had promised to me to somebody else that was deserving. And we already started that. So I'm not going to be an Indian giver and ask for that set back. However, on Mother's Day, we are giving that set away to a deserving mother. You can be an older mother. Your children don't have to be in the house. You can be a single mother. You can be any age. But if you would like to be up for that giveaway, you want to follow me on justjulie.com on TikTok, Just Julie. And then you will, and remember spelling that Juleigh. Once you follow me, you want to go find that video. Comment your name. We don't need to hear a long story, just your name. King Mondo 80 will enter you into the contest, and on Mother's Day, we will be giving away that set. At least for me, it will make me feel better knowing that everything that I've been put through with Aspen will allow somebody else to have the smile and confidence that Aspen has taken from me. Good night, everybody. And we will try and be next week. We will try and be back next week with more to talk about. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Oh, and one more good thing. This is a good thing to end on. We'll end on this note. Central Alabama's Pride has reached out to TikToker creators that support the LGBTQIA plus community in different ways. And I was asked to come be a part of Central Alabama's Pride in Birmingham, Alabama, representing the intersex community and my advocacy work on June 10th and 11th. So if you want to meet me and you want to go to Birmingham, Alabama to support the gay community there, please do so. We would love to see you. There will be other major TikTok creators there as well, like Ophelia, also known as Mama Tot. So come out and spend the 10th and 11th with us in Birmingham, Alabama. I am from that area, so it kind of feels like coming home in a sense. And with the decision and me winning the case last year in Alabama to change my birth certificate, it's kind of a homecoming or celebration. And I would love to spend it all with you. So teeth or no teeth, I will be there. And we'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good night.
For more content, follow justjulie.com. That's just Julie, JULEIGH.com. Thank you to our guests, and thank you for joining us this evening. Join us next week as Julie tries a different rosé.